What's good, y'all? Akil here, back with another video. And yesterday when I shared some of my sales with you guys, we did over $1,200 in 2 days, and that was crazy. But by the time I finished recording that video, at the end of the day, we finished up with $982 in total sales. So yesterday was a huge day in terms of sales. So I'll share what else had sold by the end of that day, and I'll share what sold today as well. Nothing too crazy. We did bring in some decent sales, but a lot of them were some items that I had sitting in my death pile. So they didn't sell for a ton of profit, but like I always tell you guys, small profits always add up. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, y'all, so first up we got a pair of these white football cleats, and I picked these up from Ross for only 20 bucks, and they sold within a couple of days for $75. So I seen a few of these also listed on eBay. A few people had them listed for a ton of money. That's why they probably didn't sell yet, but I've seen them sell just about $70 to $80. So I just priced mine right down the middle, and they sold really quickly. So if you guys have any football or baseball or soccer cleats, this is the time to definitely start listing some of those items, because they're starting to sell. Especially for me, they're starting to sell a lot faster. So if you guys were kind of sitting on some of those items, you might want to get them listed as soon as possible. And even if you do have them listed, you might want to adjust your prices as well, because I know a lot of outdoor sports are starting to get back into session. So definitely be on the lookout for those. Next up, we got a pair of these Hoka 1-1s, and these were in really good condition as well. We just had to throw these in the washing machine to clean them up a little better. But these used to belong to my wife, but she got rid of these. So we listed these on eBay for 50 bucks, and they sold within about 2 or 3 days. So if you guys have any Hoka 1-1s, you definitely want to make sure you're pricing them just about 50 to 60 bucks is what I usually get for them. If they're in really good condition, I might get a little more, but if they're used, I usually stick to that $50 to $60 price range. Next up, we got a pair of these Nike Sky Dunk wedges, and these were really dope in my opinion, but these took forever to sell. We had these listed for at least maybe 7 or 8 months at this point, maybe a little longer than that. Usually they sell a lot faster for me, but I guess this particular style and colorway were just a little too much for some people. So they finally did sell for 50 bucks, so I'm happy about that. I did have to lower the price after a couple of months of waiting, so always keep that in mind. You always want to keep going to your eBay store or even your Poshmark Closet and adjust prices every once in a while, just to make your prices more competitive. And after I adjusted my price, this one finally did sell. Next up, we got some random electronics, and this is from Anchor. This is one of those 4-port USB plugs, and this one actually was coming from the personal collection. I had 2 of these, but I wasn't using this one anymore, so I decided to let this one go, and this one sold for 12 bucks. So not a ton of profit, but I always tell you guys, small profits add up. Next up, we got 2 pairs of these top 10 highs in red and white, and one was in a size 11.5 and one was in a 10.5. So these are definitely selling pretty well. The black and white colorway is probably selling better than the white and red, but it is what it is. We still have a ton of these in the inventory, and since these are brand new in the box, I usually always ship these out via pirate ship, so I could save some money in shipping. Next up, we got another small sale, and this is Triple Play Poker from Radica, and these type of handheld games always sell pretty quick for me. This one sold for I think $14, and I picked up a bunch of these in a bag from a thrift store. I think it was 2 or 3 of these for $3. So this one didn't sell for a ton of profit, but this one was basically like for $1. So anytime I can find some of these smaller handheld items that sell really quickly, I don't mind putting them up on eBay right now, especially since eBay has given eBay store owners 50,000 free listings. So for me, I'm just trying to take advantage of some of those listings, and even if it's small profit, it's still decent money for me. Next up, we got a second copy of Mario Kart for the Nintendo Wii, and I just sold one of these last night, but another one had sold today, and I'm all out of these Mario Kart Wiis. So I'm just going to throw in this manual that I had. I didn't even include that in the listing, but I'm pretty sure who's ever going to be picking this up will be happy to receive the manual as well. And I told you guys previously, all these games that I had were loose copies, so I made sure that I purchased just some of these clear cases from the thrift store. I think I had 8 for 50 cents. So anytime you're shipping out games that doesn't have the original packaging, you still want to make sure that you can put them in a case. That way you can ship it out to buyers safely, and that way they can still store the game in a case. Next up, I got this random book called Turn Left at Orion. I honestly don't even remember where I got this book from. I think I got it from a garage sale, and probably somebody was either just tossing this in, or maybe they was throwing it out and I just asked them to keep it. But this one sold for 15 bucks. It was sitting in my death pile forever, because like I said, I don't even remember where I got this from, and when I did look it up, I realized it wasn't selling for much money, so I definitely wasn't excited decided to list it. But selling books on eBay is super easy. It only takes a couple pictures. So this one sold really quickly. I think this sold within 2 days. So if you guys got any random books, definitely just go ahead and list it, because it doesn't take long at all. And even if it doesn't sell for a lot of profit, at least you're just going to be getting it out of your house. And next up, we got 2 pairs of these New Balances, and this was pretty surprising because these sold last night. This is what got us right over that $900 mark in terms of sales on eBay. And I picked these up from Marshalls. Let me see how much I paid for these. These were only 16 bucks in Marshalls, and one person bought 2 of these, both in a size 11.5. And these are definitely more like the quintessential dad shoes. I had other pairs of these and they had sold previously, but no one ever bought 2 pairs of shoes brand new in the same size from me. So I don't know if they're a reseller themselves or if it's just somebody that's just buying 2 pairs of these because they really do like them. But it was definitely a nice surprise. I'm still gonna make sure that I ship them out via pirate ship so I can save some money on shipping. Alright y'all, so it's the next day. Right now it's 1 o'clock, so I'll share what's sold so far for the day. And just as a quick reminder, I try to do my live shows every Thursday at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and I usually run for about an hour. So far we've been really consistent with it, so I'm definitely glad about that. I went 5 weeks in a row, so I'm just gonna try to keep doing that. That way I can stay engaged with a lot of you guys, and if you guys have questions reseller related, entrepreneur related, I can just kind of answer them in a full-length form instead of just responding to the comments. And even though I try to respond to every comment, sometimes some of the questions that I get warrant a longer response. So that's usually the time when I try to get to some of those questions as fast as possible. So in case you guys didn't know, every Thursday 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and I stay on there for about an hour. So let me show you guys what's sold today. Alright, not a ton of sales today, but first up we got this 100 pack of recordable DVDs, and this one sold for $24.99. These are inscriptable. I don't even know what that means, but for the most part these type of stuff always sell pretty well for me on eBay. Anytime I get these, I usually sell them for at least 20 to 25 bucks at the very least. Sometimes I've sold some for a little more depending on the brand, but stuff like this that's brand new and sealed, you can always fetch at least 20 to 25 bucks. And this one sold within about 3 days of listing, so this was a really quick flip. And I remember picking this up for I think $2 from the thrift store. Next up we got this tennis/golf skirt for women, and this one sold for 25 bucks as well. These were all brand new with original tags on here, and I don't sell a ton of used clothing anymore. Usually any clothing that I sell is usually brand new with tags, unless it's a really dope brand like Gymshark or something like that a lot of people are looking for. But I picked this up for 5 bucks. I remember getting these from the Amvets in San Diego. Yellow tags were half off, so I got a bunch of these. I think I have maybe 5 or 6 of these left. They've been doing really well, so I'm glad I just took the chance on picking these up. This is something that my wife had actually found when we were in San Diego thrifting, so shout out to her for picking up such a good deal. Next up we got a pair of these Vans in like this fuzzy leopard colorway, and these are pretty dope. These are actually like wedge platforms, and these are for women, but of course Vans always have like that conversion for men and women as well. But I'm pretty sure some guys could get away with rocking something like this. This one sold for 50 bucks free shipping, so I'm gonna just fit this in a padded flat rate envelope and save some money on shipping, because I hate trying to ship out but like these half boxes. I got these from Nordstrom Rack when Nordstrom Rack had their 40% off sale, and you guys know Nordstrom Rack always rips off the top of these, so we got these for a really good deal, $29.97 with 40% off. So selling these for 50 bucks wasn't a ton of profit, but it sold pretty quickly. Next up we got a pair of these Adidas Top 10 highs in a size 13 in this black and white colorway. If you guys follow the channel, you guys seen these shoes a ton of different times. I still have a bunch of these left in inventory, so definitely one of my best selling shoes of the year so far, so I'm glad I was able to pick up so many of these. And we still have a bunch left, so I'm pretty sure I'll be showing this shoe a lot more often. Next up we got a pair of these Air Force Ones. These are kind of like boots in this dope white and black, kind of with this blue colorway as well. In my opinion, these are really dope. These are actually going local as well. These are going to be going to Phoenix, so I'm going to be able to save some money on shipping. And I remember picking these up from Ross. I think I spent maybe 30 or 40 bucks for these. I remember they were on clearance when I picked them up in Ross, and they're a women's size 11, and size 11 isn't the best size to pick up for women. They usually take a very long time to sell for me. These are like probably the worst size to sell for women's shoes, but This one finally did sell. It took maybe 6 months for these to finally go, but I'm just glad they did, because I took a chance on these. There were no like comps for me to check. They had a couple people had these listed, but there were no active sales, so I just took a chance on it and they finally did sell. So sometimes you got to do those type of things. You just got to trust your gut. And even though it wasn't a bad size and not like a necessarily popular shoe, I just figured it would be something dope to have in the inventory, and it actually played out well in my favor. Alright y'all, that's all I got for today's video. So if you guys enjoyed that one, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Hey, let's go. Worst back in the day, and so I can't complain. For all the times I pray carnivores don't come take. Cause it's poppin' up opportunists, I can't salute it. They raising red flags instead of raising solutions. I'm